everyone.
What's up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going? The Celtic Warrior, James.
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
Bella.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Welcome to the dive bar of the IWC. Welcome to Wrestling on the Rocks, episode 1 again.
The one.
This is the one. With me this week, the other half of the legendary duo, the IIRonics. We got Kevlar on the Rocks over here with an X. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good. Hanging in. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I don't know if you heard, but congratulations to one half of the original IIRonics. Cassie Lee is expecting a baby with her husband, Sean Spears. So we wish them the best on all of that.
Very nice. Yes.
I don't want to see either of them wrestle ever again, but they can have kids all they want.
Oh, hopefully that's it.
Yeah, that'll do it. No, but congratulations to them on that.
Thank you.
But
cheers, I'll drink to that. Congratulations.
yeah. Yep. What are you drinking? What's in your glass, man?
Some good old OG Crown, the purple stuff.
There you go. Purple drink. Got it. I'm having a little pina colada for the summer. Biggest party of the summer. We are a day late for anybody who notices or keeps track besides us, but a lot of traveling, a lot of running about. I watched, dude, I woke up this morning at like 8 and I watched Raw, I watched NXT, and I watched AEW. It was like some of the heaviest homework I've ever done. I was all like, I'm going to run around in the afternoon and do some stuff. And as I was getting through more and more stuff, I was like, I'm doing both shows in one go. Like, I can't. Like, I won't be caught up. It was crazy, dude.
It's a double shot of Marsh tonight.
Yeah. Yep. Sent out a few links to some random folk. We'll see who pops up and who doesn't. So.
Do you have an umbrella in your pina colada?
Oh, man.
Yeah, man.
I could put a little American flag in there. Which, by the way, congratulations, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He beat cancer again, yes. Dude.
Ring the bell.
Oh! Yeah. Congratulations to him, too. That's something we're drinking, too. Dude, this was a good night for wrestling, though.
Drinks to that, too.
Yeah, drink to that, too.
And Ric Flair didn't die? That was a plus?
He made it through. Did you see the match, the Flair match?
No. I saw highlights. Yeah.
You would call them highlights?
Well, they're supposed to be.
They're like,
it's normally what you
the best of what they have.
Okay. Yeah. I saw the cliff notes. Okay.
Yeah, cliff notes. Yeah, I saw a few just photos here and there, and I was like, okay, I've seen enough. But I do think for anyone who's a fan of wrestling, you should be checking out Not Sam Wrestling's podcast. He did a really good breakdown of Ric Flair and what it means to have an epilogue in your career. And no, it's not a retirement match. It's just a last match, and there's a difference. Like, the retirement match was more or less, the end of that character's story. Anything that happened after that WrestleMania was more of an epilogue or a cheers or just a celebration. No, well, yeah, at this point, right? But no, or a celebration of what that career was. And this was, really putting
more for the man, not the character.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I thought that was pretty cool, and I respect that. But he goes on for a bit about it, and it's really neat. But
I can respect that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I was wondering why he won.
That was real weird. Yeah, I think he pinned Jay Lethal, didn't he?
I don't remember.
Which is a total
If
shame.
he didn't finish it in a figure 4 leg lock, we need to do it again.
Yeah, Let's run it back. The last match again. Do it like Cher. Just constant farewell tours.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is just the first leg of the farewell tour.
Yeah.
There's 28 more stops to go, baby.
Yeah. Other news coming out of the weekend, they WWE, I believe, they signed Dwight Howard, did they not?
No, I don't think so.
He was at the
I think he just
SummerSlam
tried
thing.
out.
You think it was just... No, I think he was at the tryouts and they announced that because they put out an announcement today of people that they'd signed, and I thought Dwight Howard was on that list.
Oh, that I don't know. I thought he just tried out. I know he's a free agent right now in basketball. I don't think his basketball career is officially over, but I guess it wouldn't, hinder him from signing another contract.
It did not stop Dennis Rodman or the mailman, Karl Malone.
Karl Malone.
Yeah.
And the mailman.
They definitely were full-time NWO members and such. So.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
Do you think if you
I like Dwight Howard.
You think if you met Jay Leno, he would give you the old too sweet if you tried?
Maybe.
Yeah. Who just? I mean,
I don't think. I just don't think that would be the first thing to cross my mind. Like, oh my God, Jay Leno, too sweet.
Yeah, it would to me. I'd be like, holy shit, it's Jay Leno from the NWO. This is crazy.
This is my chance.
Yeah. Did I don't know. I don't know who Dwight Howard is. I heard he was a basketballer. What team is he on?
He's a free agent.
So he's not to any team. I thought free agent just mean you had to open for contract negotiations. So he's not assigned to a team.
Yeah, he's not signed to a team at all right now. He was on the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh shit! I've heard of them.
Yeah,
they're usually pretty good. They're good at winning. They're like the Goldberg of basketball.
Not last year.
No, yeah.
Kick them all down.
That sounds good.
But I mean, I like Dwight Howard. I've followed his career since he was with the Magic, and he's made a few pit stops since then. And he's very energetic. He kind of reminds me of Shaq. And I know that was his comparison, playing in Orlando first, just like Shaq did. But he's got personality.
Yeah.
Huh. So if WWE doesn't work out, maybe AEW is the route.
No, well, they picked up Shaq.
Yeah. I mean,
actually, Shaq did both. Actually, now I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Shaq does whatever the hell Shaq wants to do. I don't think anyone's going to stop him.
That's a really good point. You could tell by any given commercial break. And I don't mean like a specific commercial. I mean that there'll be 7 commercials in a row of different products that all highlight Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
He is like the spokesperson of America.
Yeah, ink toner.
Yeah, Kellogg's.
The General.
Icy Hot. Yeah, insurance, pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever he feels like doing that day.
Yeah, he's going to be in like some medication commercials soon enough. I know it. I feel it.
Just as long as he's not in, it's not Extends. What's the other thing that all the athletes?
Oh, the new
boost their testosterone.
It's not Neutrogena.
Yeah, like Frank Thomas.
It's the
Neutrogenics.
really gross one. Neutrogenics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like text Zipper to 1919. And you're just like, ugh.
Ever since I retired from the NBA, it helps me break more pelvises.
Yeah. Now with this, it's not the only thing I'm slam dunking anymore.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Backboards aren't the only thing I shudder.
Yeah. Dude, you want to talk about some of the shows? We haven't been on for a bit.
I don't know. I kind of like where we're at right
now.
But yeah, let's jump into Smackdown.
Let's fly through some Smackdown. There was a lot of setup for SummerSlam, which was great, but a few things were set up in there that were not. Notably, the Donnybrook match opened the show, and that was like a third of the entirety of the show. It was like a 40-something minute segment and match.
Yeah.
But Sheamus and Drew McIntyre just beating the holy hell out of each other. Ridge and Butch getting involved. Austin Theory got involved. Just Theory, my bad. But yeah. What'd you think of this?
I thought it was great. I thought it was a great match. You know, I didn't like how Holland took like a clothesline and then he was out forever, and Butch, you know, I think got punched. And they were just out. Or, yeah, I think he got hit by a chair. But anyways, like I just didn't like, or he got hit by the Claymore because he pushed Sheamus out of the way, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was great. It was cool to watch like a long match. I was like, man, this is like the 5th commercial break. Let's go.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wish Sheamus would have won, but that's just me.
Me too.
And I don't know. I think it's the point. I'm probably getting worked, but I just hate how Theory's jumping into fucking everything.
He's in every storyline.
Yeah. He's the one that hurt Becky, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He definitely hurt Becky. Mm-hmm. He definitely was guest referee in his own match. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I understand the title match and stuff like that at SummerSlam, obviously, but you know, yeah, I mean, literally everything. It's like, come on now. But like I said, I think I'm getting work. I think that's the point.
Yeah, there's almost like an irony to it. Like, it's kind of funny at a certain point. I think I even saw someone tweet at one point going like, how many people is Theory feuding with right now? And I was like, I kind of love that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, something about it is just crazy and makes him look insane.
Yeah.
Like, he's in the midst of this feud with Bobby Lashley, but he's also like, I'm going to piss off Drew McIntyre too. And I think I'm going to get in Brock Lesnar's face. And probably I'm going to talk back to Roman. And I think I'm going to sucker punch the Usos. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's insane.
I think it'd be great if there was just one episode of him just getting his ass kicked.
Well, I mean, in a sense, that's what's happened every episode with everybody he's interfered with. I mean, he got his ass handed to him every time he interfered in this one. Eventually, Drew got the better of him. At the end, Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of him. Like,
yeah. But no, I want like
strong.
No, he's not at all. But I want like I think they've done it before, and I can't remember with who. But like you know, the Usos open up SmackDown with Roman or whatever, the Bloodline. And he goes out there. They beat the shit out of him. They literally just leave him in the middle of the ring. He cuts to commercial. He's still in the ring. And then, like, McIntyre walks out there. And then just, Claymores him a couple times and says his bit. And meanwhile, Theory's still just in the ring. And then, whoever else comes out. And,
oh, sort of like they did with Corbin at the end of Kurt Angle's run?
Is that who it was?
Yeah, I remember everyone came out and just beat the shit out of Corbin one at a time.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that.
I mean, yeah.
James Ellsworth, on his way out of the company, they had him in a bunch of house show matches where every single woman on the roster did some sort of Attitude Era finish on him.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I mean, if you're going to go out, that's the way to go out.
That's the way to do it. Dude, I want to know what you thought of the finish of the match, because I thought it was, like you said, awesome, brutal. The dudes were sweating so bad, I thought they were in Saudi Arabia. I was like, this is intense. But the bit at the end where Drew starts to try to look emotional, and he's trying to look sad.
I was trying to remember where you were going with it, but yeah. It didn't have to be this way, buddy.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you guys kick the shit out of each other 50 fucking times by now.
Yes.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. It was really weirdly forced to me, and I didn't like, and he looked, I don't think he's great at emoting.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it was,
yeah, I mean, yeah.
But.
Not good.
It was the obvious finish.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, he tweeted out, 2 months ago that he was going to go for the title there.
Yeah. He's like, it's official, it's booked. And they're like, we haven't done the story yet. And he's like, no one will remember.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Drew.
Mm.
But, yeah, I mean, and then, yeah, the whole crying or trying to cry, and it was like, what the fuck? And even if he did do a good job, crying and being like, "Oh, buddy," like just the sentiment's not there. I don't think anyone bought it. Anyone was like, "Oh, he had to beat up his own buddy to get his title shot. He's a fucking Scottish psychopath for a fucking reason."
Yeah. This was not Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. He wasn't putting down his hero. Yeah, it was. I felt the same. I felt like it was super forced, and yeah, it wasn't. But I will say, I saw a number of people online talking about how they got choked up during that. So it must have worked for somebody, and that's cool, and I love that.
Ooh.
But I was also kind of like, really? Like, that was started to pull me out of the match a little bit. Because it was also like, obviously we were going here, and then he's like acting like Patrick Swayze at the end of Donnie Darko. Just crying to himself. And I'm like, what is this? Did not fit. I didn't think it fit. But
no, like, who bought it? Who?
I don't know, man.
Who?
Probably somebody with a terrible take. I'm going to run through a couple things on SmackDown. We're going to get into SummerSlam really quick here. I just want to say I loved the bit with Corbin behind McAfee yelling during the whole promotion for the next thing. And McAfee kept complaining, like, someone get this guy out of here. And you just hear him heckling the whole time.
Yeah.
I just loved that. I thought it was also interesting. I feel like that's one of those types of things that gives it a fresher look and feel and could be an indication of a new boss in town, because it feels like something that Vince never would have done. I don't think Vince would have ever sacrificed his own promoting of his own show for sake of one storyline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Smart or not, I don't know. That's not for me to say. All I'm saying is I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what matches they were promoting at the time. No. All I could think about was, this is incredible. You know what I mean? Corbin and McAfee.
Well, and I think that was the whole thing with it. Like, that's the way it was designed. Because, I mean, Cole was even getting mixed up or messed up.
Yeah, it was great.
So, yeah.
Shotzi and Aaliyah had a match. I was really happy that they both were just on TV and they got a few minutes. Like, it wasn't the longest match, but you got to see a lot of character out of both of them, and I like that. I'm just happy that it was going to what it was. I like the new look shots he's got. I like that new gear. That looks sick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was also followed up. We got the Rhonda Morgan DeVille Natalia thing was kind of a weird story the way they did it. I was also just happy to see them out there, and was what it was. Oh shit! Let me do this and this. That should not happen again. Let's see. And then the other big thing coming out of it was the Xavier Woods deal. Viking Raiders against the New Day. They ended up, the Viking Raiders ended up defeating the New Day and then just beating the shit out of them, putting Xavier Woods' leg inside of a chair and then like crushing it. And Woods just did an amazing job with it.
Yeah, it had to be amputated. Crazy.
Yeah, definitely. He would do that to work the angle. He would just be like, just cut it off. Just save it for later. We'll put it back on later. And like, we can't put it on later. He goes, whatever. We'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll cross that road when we get there.
Yeah. Yeah. But I just thought Woods did awesome. Just fucking phenomenal. Like, it really had me wondering if there was an injury they're trying to cover up that he's going to need time off for, if he's just going to be doing some G4 stuff, or if they messed up and actually injured him. You know what I mean? Like, all those felt like viable options for the way that it came across. Like, I thought, fantastic.
Yeah. And I mean, just as a fan looking at it at face value, not looking at everything else that, Woods is involved in, like, it's easily believable.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, he's gone for, a few weeks and shit, and then, oh, here comes, he's back. Here's a return.
Yeah. I agree, dude. I agree. But that kind of was the wrap-up of SmackDown. The rest of SmackDown just led into SummerSlam matches that we knew was going to happen. We did see the return of Max Dupree with his sister Maxine. There was a lot of talk and rumors online about whether or not he was cut out of the whole storyline to begin with, that Maxine was there to replace him, that he was going to be gone. And we said, yeah, we'll wait on that speculation, and boom, he's back. So I don't know if anything that we ever see on there is of any value, but it was cool to see Max back, and he, for what it's worth, definitely looked more loosened up to me. You know what I mean? Like, his smile looked more genuine than before. So I don't know if maybe he's gotten a little direction that he's happy with where he didn't have before, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it did seem, like you said, a little more natural. And maybe it was just, you know, it being recorded where he could, you know, like you said, just relax and do his bit.
Well, could be. Could be. Let me see. I'm pulling up the SummerSlam results here just so I get the match card. Because the ones I was looking at was like...
Women's.
It started with... Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, this thing was like all reversed and shit. Like, it was just a shuffling of what the matches were. So I want to get it in the right order. Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Raw Women's title. Becky separates a shoulder. Turns out legitly. Bianca gets the win. Dude, I loved at the end of the KOD and Bianca popped backwards. She did that little hop to get into the pin.
Yeah.
It looked like it was with such urgency, but it was also so clean. Like, I rewatched her going into that pin like 4 times. It was just so perfect. Like, I'm just too far. Hop. Like, just hopped over there. Got the win. Retained the title. We got the handshake with Becky. And then the return... Bayley, surprise return Dakota Kai, surprise call up Io Sky. A lot happened in this first 30 minutes of the show that really felt like, oh shit, new era, who dis? What did you think about it?
I wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. It was great. Yeah. Can we talk about something else? No, it was great. Like, the match was great. Like you said, the urgency of Bianca there was like, this is my chance, Unlike her husband that does a frog splash and lands 5 feet away from the opponent. But, yeah, I mean, great match. I was wondering, you know, is Becky going to, you know, attack Bianca again? No. You know, handshake. And then, you know, she walks off. Then we hear Bayley's music and I don't know. Surprise, not surprise type of thing. Like, we've been expecting it a while. I still wish it was just a doorbell and then the music. Or a doorbell ring.
Oh,
you literally hear the ding dong and then, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
People would be confused for a second. Like, what the fuck was that? And then, you know, then, oh, shit.
Yeah. I did like when she got halfway down the aisle. She went ding dong, remember me? I thought it was good.
Yeah.
So, dude, there's a lot.
So I was...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you know, I was excited. I'm like, cool, Bayley's back. You know, like I said, not much of a surprise. And then Dakota Kai coming out. I was like, oh, shit. Like, that's cool. Last thing I heard, I thought she was released, and that was it. And, you know, so it's like, all right, cool, you know, that's awesome. And then Io comes out, and I'm not a fan of the name change. I know, you know, I'm not going to go on tangents about it, but it's just too close. Io Shirai is just too close to Io Sky.
I think that's the point.
But it's just like, even the announcers a couple times said Io Shirai.
Well, because they hadn't updated the Tron either. The Tron said Io Shirai.
Oh,
and that's when Corey said, I believe that's Io Sky. And then they had to be like, if that's what they're telling you. Just want to welcome real quick. Justin Time is coming through to get in on the biggest party of the summer with Wrestling on the Rocks as we talk over SummerSlam. How you doing, Justin?
What up, Justin?
Cheers, you guys.
Cheers. Go ahead and finish what you were saying, though, Kev.
Well, I was just gonna say, I'm not harking on the name change, but this would be one that I could easily see. It's just EO going forward.
Oh, where they could just I did like that they changed the spelling of EO because I have heard a number of people refer to her as IO, and I think that with the Y, it kind of forces people to say EO.
Now it's IO.
Yeah, IO. I thought the adding Sky instead of Shirai was, minor, but fine.
I get it, but
my only complaint during the whole thing was that the space between the entrances took so long because the ramp is so long. There was a certain part it felt like it was dragging, but I think it was just because the ramp was so long. You know what I mean? That they were waiting for them all to get to a certain footing before they did it, and they all came out separately. I kind of wish that Bayley came out with all of them together, and they could worry about their names and graphics and music another time. Just show up with Bayley. Oh my God, who's by Bayley's side? But it still was.
But
really
I
cool.
think three pops is better than one.
That's true. That's true. Living for the pop.
I would say even if it's up on the top of the ramp, like Bayley just walked out, stopped, and then they played Dakota. She walked out, then EO, and then they all three just came down same time.
Yeah, could have sped it up.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't have felt as laggy as it did.
Yeah, it did feel a little laggy. But I was driving during this. I was literally on the road to LA when all this was going on, so I didn't really know what was going on, and I kind of knew I was getting messages and people were forwarding me stuff. So I didn't get to watch it till the next day. Oh, wow. Even watching it the next day and having seen all the pictures and knowing the names and all that stuff, I still felt my heart racing during all of this. Like, it was done so well that even by saying that it was a little laggy isn't that big of a knock on it, because it still had me going, and I knew what was happening. I knew what to expect, and I still was kind of like, oh my God, all of this. Something that, quick shout out to Wrestling with Freddie, the Freddie Prinze Jr. podcast. His new co-host, Jeff Dye, was at the show, and I just want to throw this out there. He had said, because he was there with people who worked in the company, this exact faction of Bayley, Dakota, EO was pitched to Vince McMahon several times over the last several months and was shot down every time. So this was another one of those new era who dis moments where this is something that I wonder, because so talking to my brother, he was all like, see, Vince doesn't get it, he's a dummy, right? Like, why would you ever turn this crew down? And I hear that, but also realistically, I could see negatives to this group. EO in NXT, even when she would cut her promos with the subtitles, didn't emote a ton with her face. She was pretty one-sided on it. Dakota was doing weird, goofy stuff by the time she left. I could see Vince not making sense of it in his own mind. But I think that inherently, I agree with the concept that these three together are going to be magic. And I think we saw that even on Raw. Their chemistry, EO was much more emotive with her pantomiming and stuff. But I think that might be the crux of the difference between a Triple H booking and a Vince booking. Vince isn't going to put anything out there if he doesn't see how it's going to work right now. If he doesn't understand it, he's not going to do it. He's not going to try anything. Now, if it fails, he'll laugh and be like, who could have ever known that wouldn't have worked? And you're like, you're an idiot. Of course that wasn't going to work, right? But in his mind, it would. I think Triple H is willing to let them try. He may not get it or know, or he may see that there's larger potential and just let them have a shot. He's more willing, I think, to let something fail than Vince. Vince didn't want anything to fail. Triple H is like, if it fails, it fails. We move on. And I think Vince was protective of failure. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Vince wanted perfection.
Yes.
He didn't want any step backs.
And that doesn't mean that shit didn't fail, because it failed all the time. But I think he didn't understand why it didn't fail when he should have. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Justin. What do you think of all this?
I mean, my one question about it is just like, what is the point of the group? Like, what is their main focus as a faction? Though I'm still asking that question constantly. Like, I love it. I love it though. It's so good, but it's like I look at the three of them and I go, okay, but what is your main ideal reason for this?
Mm-hmm.
To me, it was very similar. And, watching SummerSlam, I wanted a fourth person to come out. I hate 3-person factions.
Kind of.
But
yeah.
It reminds me of when the Riot Squad came out. Hey, we're going to show up, we're going to beat everyone up, or, start shit with everyone and go.
Yeah.
And that's kind of exactly where it's going right now.
Hopefully it doesn't freaking get booked like the Riot Squad, though, sadly.
It kind of feels sort of like a D&D group. I play a lot of D&D, and you have these 3 characters that are built separately because a lot of the game sets up where the DM says, okay, here's our world. You guys all create your characters, give yourself backstories, and then we'll reconvene and start the game, right? So then you have to try and figure out a way of why these ragtag thieves will be together, right? That's kind of what this feels like. Here's 3 separate characters with 3 separate visions built separately, but now they're on an adventure together. And how do we get here, and what's the thing? Well, we know Bayley's in charge because Bayley said she recruited 2 of the very best in the entire world and brought them here for her vision. So all you really got to worry about is what's Bayley's vision, because they're bought in, right? Byron had said that they're looking for control in this company. They want to control their destiny. Bayley said she wasn't going to tell everyone what they're up to, but they know exactly what they want, and they know how they're going to get it, and they're going to be doing it, and you're going to watch it happen. So it feels like there's a direction that we just aren't all in on. But they also feel like a unit. They feel like they're doing things together,
Fantastic. Leave me wanting more. Love it.
Yeah. I'm so into it. I'm so excited about this. Bayley with her new gear that just has these massive sandwich-sized pockets.
Yeah.
Good. And then, not to overshadow the match itself, Becky and Bianca was a fucking phenomenal match. And I heard a lot of people saying this is the match that they should have got last year, that this is what Bianca deserves, that Bianca's finally getting what she deserved. And when I was hearing this stuff, I was like, God, you guys can't even appreciate you got worked for a year.
Yeah, they built this up. This is the whole thing.
This was the whole point.
Yeah.
I even heard people say, smart people, saying that
No,
they
they're
felt like
not
this
smart.
was like, that this was what Bianca finally deserves. They never should have done a 26-second match, and they should have done this from the start. And I'm like, you just would have erased an entire year of amazing story. You'd have brought you this crescendo. Like, how do you not get storytelling on that deeply?
Yeah, if we had this last year, it would have been a great match, and that's it.
That's it.
You wouldn't, outside of Becky's return, you wouldn't have been actually invested in it.
Nope. Yeah. But nothing.
Now it's led to 2 fantastic matches that they've had.
Yeah, the WrestleMania match was incredible. We had this match was incredible. The story that we got here, the downfall and spiral of big time Bex, like all of that's incredible.
The return of the man, hallelujah.
Bianca defining herself and rising herself to the top twice in 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Bianca had 2 fucking full on from the bottom to the top stories. Becky had a full on downfall and was able to come out on the other side the man. I mean, why would you want to get rid of that? Without the 26-second match, we're not here. You know what I mean? Like, this would have been some other random match.
Yes.
So, yeah, I completely disagree with that concept, but I loved it. And how badass is Becky to separate her shoulder and continue this match and have people still wondering if it was real or not.
She is one tough one.
Tough as fuck. Tough as fuck.
Tough as names.
Do you want to incorporate stuff that happened on Raw as we go through and just talk storylines top to bottom, or do you want to keep it isolated?
I don't care.
I say we move around.
I mean,
so Becky on Raw came out, cut that promo, basically saying that she's not going to be defined by any man. She defines the man, basically saying she's coming back as the man. Bayley, Dakota, and Io had so much shine all over this show. They had like 5 segments and a match. And Io and Bianca, how incredible was that match?
Yeah.
and with a right decision how they ended it too.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not owed a clean finish. No one's owed a clean finish. Let's keep teasing this. I also loved that every time Bayley and her crew were going around fucking up shit, Bianca was just a few steps behind. You know what I mean? And Bianca doesn't have much of a reason to care what they're up to. Not much. Because all they did was show up after the match and say, we're here to change things, and leave. They didn't attack her. You know? Like, she didn't have a ton of reason to be on their tail, but she's just that much of a good guy, and they're that much of bad guys. That she was all like, fuck this, I'm not going to let this go down this way. And was constantly chasing him out. I thought it was awesome.
It was the popular girl at school picking on the new kids.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Boo, Bianca.
I like the little touch of Bianca, how she's in the beginning of the show, and she's running back to Becky, and she's in heels, and later when she comes out, she's in sneakers. I was just like, I like that little touch there.
Yes. Well, because now she knew. I better get my sneakers. I'm going to be chasing these bitches around all night.
The only thing I didn't like is that she's, excuse me, she was All-American in track, and she couldn't catch 3 schmoes.
Yo, Bayley was really good at basketball in high school.
That's basketball. It's not track.
They run a lot in basketball.
They do.
That's why they wear sneakers. Oh yeah, that's who they attacked. Alexa and Asuka, who also had a fucking fantastic match.
Yeah, I like that they both came out. Since we're talking about that, they kind of like shook hands, and they were like, you know, all right, this is just competition between, you know, 2 people that respect each other, and then, you know, they get attacked. And
yeah,
I'm just glad they didn't
to climb the ladder, you know.
Yeah, and I'm just so glad that they didn't turn it into a 6-woman tag.
And that match is happening right now. Yeah,
it's official.
Make it official.
No, I definitely am glad they didn't just go 6-man or 6-woman on that, because that would have been like, whoa, hold on a second.
Yeah. Yo, even
Damn it, Vince is back.
Yeah. Or Teddy Long. Even the backstage stuff. So they attacked Becky to knock her arm out of place so she'd be gone for a while. They even were getting questioned by Sarah Schreiber and stuff. What are you doing? And you don't worry about us. They walked by the Usos, and the Usos showed them like this amount of respect. Like, it was really cool. I'm really looking forward to this Control faction, whatever they're gonna end up being called, and whatever shirts I end up buying for it. You know.
Well, see, like, because I was wondering with Triple H, like, because I was like, obviously, love thinking fantasy and stuff like that, but like, I was like, dude, it'd be so badass if Triple H makes basically a woman's DX.
Yes.
You know, obviously don't call him DX, but something similar where, like the NWO, like Bayley starts spray painting shit, like, you know, whatever they're called, like, you know.
I think there's a chance we get like really a women's NWO out of this, more so than a DX.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And if they had it, like, they need a hand signal too, because I was trying to think, like, most people
the
outside
doorbell.
of the 2 feet, is the poke.
Yeah, the poke, the doorbell poke.
That's their fault. They just go like,
yeah, they're like a ding dong Control.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you know, whenever I think of factions and like hand signs, you know, obviously DX, NWO with the 2 Sweet, the 4 Horsemen with the 4.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't know what it would be. I'm not a gang sign aficionado, but something.
Yeah, I don't know. They should. Let me see if they did anything else on Raw. No, so we can go back to SummerSlam. We'll keep it moving. Yeah, because I mean, I didn't mean to go on so long about that particular segment, but that to me,
There's
maybe
a lot of
the
potential
highlight
with
of, there's a lot coming out of that. Like, I felt like there was just so much of a bright future coming out of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially even as we'll talk later on tonight in the second part of our doubleheader with the NXT, massive shifts in the women's division down there as well. It makes you wonder, are we going to see this faction start the breeding of other smaller factions or of a larger group at play? Like, it just, the fantasy booking potentials of what's going on in NXT versus the main roster right now in this moment seem vast.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so fucking excited about it and was so happy with that match to begin with. So it was probably one of the biggest highlights for me for the night, which is saying something because this was an incredible premium live event, top to bottom.
Yeah. It was one of the better, outside of, us attending it last year, probably one of the better SummerSlams we've had in a while.
Yeah. I saw someone see it and then say, I don't think it's recency bias, but this feels like one of the top 5 SummerSlams of all time. And I was like, I don't think I can disagree. And like you said, we were at the one last year, and we loved it. And the return of Becky was huge. But at the end of the day, this was fucking way better. And that was a good show.
And even that actress, what's her name, Kat Denning?
Yeah.
She even tweeted, she's like, I think I'm I just watched my first SummerSlam, and she's like, I think I'm a WWE fan. And it's like, or she's a fan now, and it's like, yeah, this is what you're first turning into. Like, yeah, it's going to hook a lot of people.
Yeah, this is incredible. Especially the first 30 minutes or so. You see 2 women who are at the absolute best of what they do it on that level, followed up by 3 returning women, and you're watching the crowd go insane, and you're seeing this face-off of 5 women. Like, that's got to be like, this feels important. Whether you watch it or not, this feels important. And if you ever watched wrestling in the past, you know that they never made the women feel that important like they did at the beginning of this show. And that would already be enough to hook someone, I think. And as polite as possible, none of them were dressed in a scandalous way or objectified in any way by their clothing. So much so they all looked great. They all looked fantastic. But you could tell that was an afterthought of everything. It wasn't go out there and look sexy to get eyes on you. It was, here are 5 important women who happen to look great doing it. Like, it was just badass. So I could understand why someone might become a fan after that. In the first 30 minutes, just being like, okay. It does bring us...
Nothing, I was just going to say, where has this been all my life?
Yeah, where's it been? Which, I mean, that's honestly, remember when I got back into it, Bayley Asuka at NXT. I watched it and said, where were these women when I was growing up? Like, this was amazing. So,
they were also growing up.
Yeah, they were also growing up, it turns out. Logan Paul versus The Miz. Kev, what do you think about Logan Paul wrestling a one-on-one match?
I liked it. I like Logan Paul. I never liked him before he was in WWE, but I'm like, this dude can hold his own. Like, he's got talent.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, he's got talent. He's got natural charisma. I think if they fine-tune it and, he's into it, like, I think he could be a big star.
Justin, what do you think of it?
I do not like Logan Paul at all, but my God, when he wrestles, holy shit. Like, during that match, he had me rooting for him. And that was like, I was like, God, I hate you, but you're making me root for you for a reason. Like, fantastic. Outstanding. Like, it just, I don't understand. Like, I've been saying, just don't, like, throw him on TV too much. But now it's like you want to see more of them. So it's kind of like a contradictive thing, like, this whole time. Like, damn. Like, I'm anticipating, honestly, the next Logan Paul match now, which is crazy. Just
yeah. What do you guys think? Because I was asked this direct today. Who do you think did it better in their perspective? And it's a little unfair because this is Logan's second match, but Bad Bunny or Logan Paul?
Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I was impressed by Bad Bunny. I'm impressed by both of them. But with Bad Bunny, I was impressed, and it was like, okay, cool, this dude's going all out. He's, 100% in it. He's good. But I think it stops there. Maybe another match, maybe. That's it. Like Logan Paul, it's like, dude, this guy can be like a WWE champion one day. Yeah. Like he's got it, as they say. Like, he's awesome. He's an athlete. He's, he draws you in there, and it's like, cool, this is, what you want from somebody performing like that.
Yeah. This is how I broke it down.
Break it down.
I said Bad Bunny had a better debut story. His story leading to his match in WrestleMania was much better and more compelling than Logan Paul's story here with Miz. I'm not into the Logan Paul story at all. But when it gets to the ring...
Because it's the Miz.
It's the Miz, man. What the fuck? It's the Miz talking about a guy on YouTube from his hometown, and I'm like, I don't care. But Bad Bunny came out supporting his buddy from his hometown, Damian Priest. He got that 24/7 title run. He had that run-in in Royal Rumble. It was just all so compelling and interesting the whole time. But at the end of the day, it was a tag match. Bad Bunny was incredibly protected by a master of what he does, John Morrison. All the moves that people bring up that were amazing on Bad Bunny's part was 90% the other person. Bad Bunny was incredibly protected there, rightfully so. And like you said, very impressive nonetheless. Put his heart and soul in it. Like, I'm not trying to take away from Bad Bunny at all. He gave so much more than him at a star level that he is at needed to do or be. But like you said, Logan Paul between WrestleMania and SummerSlam has a different body type. Like, he looked good at Mania. He was jacked here. You know what I mean? Like, he's been focused for the past several months, making sure that this was going to go off without a hitch. The only complaint I have about Logan Paul is I thought it was funny that they said he was maybe getting tips from AJ Styles, because I felt like he got tips from the Young Bucks. The dude did not breathe. He said, "Let me do every move." It was like a Brian Cage, get my shit in. This is everything I do. You're going to see this, and you're going to see everything I know how to do as fast as I can do it. And the only time Logan Paul slowed down is when there was someone else's spot, and he didn't have a choice. You know what I mean? Like, he even at a certain point looked like he was going to go for the Three Amigos again, but looked like he was too gassed to get up and just said, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, I agree with you that I think in time, his matches are going to be a lot more psychological in what he does and when. But this was such a fantastic showcase of what his potential really is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think his execution was bad. It's not even that the moves were bad or anything. It's not like he got sloppy at any point. He just didn't let it breathe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that in time, we'll get there. What were you going to say, Justin?
I think Logan Paul's just always, I think now going to pretty much be the best wrestling celebrity right now, because it's like he's still going to be wrestling. Yeah. Unlike most of these other ones. Like Bad Bunny, like I'd love to see another match, like a one-on-one for him, just to give it like, to make this like debate more like interesting. But it's like no matter what, it's like Logan Paul's always going to have the one up on him, no matter what. So I think Logan's got it, honestly. Like, guys, he's so good. Like, he has so much stuff. Like when I watch him go, he's just like, he has like moments where he has this stuff where he'll hit a move and he'll just kind of like hold on to it and just like hesitate. And I'm like, okay, he's just got to like pick it up a little bit, but not go too fast. Cause like you were saying, he looks like he's going like 90 miles an hour. Like that's what he's just got to slow it down, but not too slow.
Yeah. But he did awesome. And he looked incredible. Yes. And that frog splash, the fact he went with the Shane McMahon frog splash across to the table. Like, only two people I've ever seen do that, and I'm sure there's more people could fucking do it. I think AJ did an elbow off there one time, but I think of Shane McMahon and I think of the Usos as the main people I know who go from that turn post in the far corner to the table. Mm-hmm. You know? It was just awesome.
Give him his Shane McMahon moment. Here he goes.
That's what I said. I was like, he's going for a Shane McMahon frog splash.
I thought he was going to do an elbow. Like, I thought he was literally going to do a Shane elbow. And I was like, damn. But then he hit the frog splash. I was like, that's even more impressive.
Yeah. You know what I said? As soon as he landed it on it, I went, fuck, that sucks. That sucks for Dominic. That was just such a good frog splash. People are going to shit on Dominic so bad. I felt so bad for Dominic when I saw that frog splash from Logan Paul. I was all like, fuck, Logan Paul's got better hair. He's got a better frog splash. Like, Dominic's got to step it up, man.
Hey, you don't like Domi's hair?
That disgusting, like, he, out of some sort of respect to his father, Eddie Guerrero, has decided to go with the most disgusting haircut he ever had as an homage. And I'm like, he had other haircuts. And he got to a point where he said, this is disgusting, I must move on. Early in his career. And Dom's like, I'm going to replicate the gross one.
No.
I'm gonna replicate the gross one.
Yep. And I'm not even as hard on Dominic as a ton of people are, dude. I think Dominic's doing awesome. I think he's doing great given the amount of time. But then you see a dude like Logan and you go, fuck, this is not going to help any Dominic argument you ever have moving forward. Mm-hmm. We're going to say, well, Dominic's only been doing it 2 years. I'm like, all right, well, Logan Paul's done 2 matches. And you go, fuck.
Yeah, he's done it twice. Yeah.
Like, Logan Paul is going to constantly be the trump on any conversation you have about Dominic. Anytime you try to be forgiving, what about this? What about that? They're going to be like, well, Logan Paul. And you just go, fuck, stop. I feel bad for him, man. Because this was great. Yeah. This was great. Ciampa's involvement was good. I thought AJ Styles... This part was funny. AJ Styles' music plays, and AJ pops out from the crowd. And I'm like, because someone in a fucking stadium in the truck said, you know what? You know who's probably on their way? Probably AJ. You know what I mean? Like, that was one of the most, like, overproduced moments. To just be like, oh, here comes AJ. And it's not like he came from Gorilla and around. Like, he couldn't have walked by there. You know what I mean? Like, from a logistic standpoint, he had to come from a different part. So it was like like AJ's on a fucking radio. Guys, I want to go in, but I cannot unless you hit my music. I just cannot help him. It made me laugh, but I was like, all right.
Unless he was in Gorilla and be like, yo, if Ciampa does anything, play my music on my way.
Yeah, I'm going to go sit over there. Yeah. I'll tell you this much. If Ciampa goes too far, you hit my music, I'll know that's my cue.
Yeah. I mean, AJ's old now. He can't make that run down that aisle.
No, he cannot. He cannot. Let's see. Bobby Lashley Theory United States Championship. I thought this was great.
Yeah.
Did you not like it, Justin?
Not really. I don't know. I don't know, because after watching their Money in the Bank match, I had high expectations for a match, and then just kind of got disappointed.
Here's what you got disappointed in. This wasn't a match. This was a story, and you wanted a match.
Yeah.
Because technically, they can do a lot more than they did in this match. You could have told a totally different match, like bell to bell in between the ropes, but so much of this was so dripping in story and playing the egos of the dudes. I don't mean ego in like an egotistical way. I mean an ego in a sense of self way. It was really building who is Bobby and who is Theory. Theory, scumbag. Bobby, honorable champion, defender. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It was kind of slow and kind of short, and it was, I don't want to say one-sided, but it wasn't like, this was not catch wrestling. This was Theory's a scumbag, Bobby Lashley's as stand-up as it gets, and he's walking away with the championship, which is what I thought made it so great leading into Raw, where the entirety of the show was anchored in how great of a champion is Bobby Lashley, and the crowd fucking loves Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from the wrestling standpoint, bell to bell, I would say yes, there was a lack of wrestling match, but there was a heavy dose of story, which is why I thought it was done so great. Help break up the night a little bit. Go ahead, Kev, what were you saying?
Well, that's what I was going to say, is that I think if you took more of the wrestling out of it and stuck more to the storyline, like as soon as Theory was struggling with Lashley, if he kind of was just like, fuck it, I don't care, I'm cashing in, like, you know, that's why I think like the tap out was real quick. They didn't mention it, but
yes,
I think they could have easily, you know, like, oh, he got me in this, I'm not going to fight it, I'm done.
Yes.
You know, I think if they leaned into that just a little bit more, I think it would have been.
Yeah, they'll live to fight another day. Yeah. He's got bigger fish to fry. He's got bigger plans. And at one point, he did grab his briefcase and start to walk away. And Lashley got in his way and goes, no, I'm here to whoop your ass. And that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And then he overpowers Theory and does so. So that's why I was like, man, Bobby Lashley's a big bad man, dude. But yeah, I loved it. And I loved the through story. Raw this week had several through stories. One of the major ones was Bobby Lashley United States Championship. One of them was Bayley and her faction doing what their thing is. And the other one was the AJ Ciampa number one contender conversation, which is the contender for the U.S. title, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it was a contendership was building through the U.S. title. At the same time, building how badass is Bobby Lashley because he's got a match at the end of the night. Did he have a match? Am I fucking going backwards?
No.
Yeah, it's an interview segment.
It was an interview segment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the through story was Bobby, the U.S. title. People want that. It was building the legitimacy and the importance of the secondary title. We may not have the world champion, but we've got the goddamn United States champion. USA, 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 USA.
And I love the video package they put together, showing like past champions and you know what it was about. I felt like I was watching a 4th of July show for a second.
I know, me too. I found myself saluting.
And but you know, since we're on it, you know, like the triple threat matches on Raw were amazing. They were awesome.
So fucking good. So fucking
You know,
good, dude.
Yeah, both of them, you know, and
Fantastic.
I'm glad AJ won. Ciampa finally got a win, and then you know he won again.
Yeah, and then
Two in
AJ,
one night,
and
he's
then
on a
AJ
roll.
Ciampa was so good.
Yeah,
Shit.
like
All
yeah,
together was just great.
Remember
Yeah,
how
it was like-
Summerslam was supposed to be the weekend of Gargano?
yeah.
Everyone
I
was
didn't-
saying Triple H bringing. What do you mean you didn't believe it? We told you it was going to happen, Justin. You have to believe us. We
I
get
still
drunk and make shit up, and it's true.
Hey, I know you guys are the real journalists,
They-
but come on. Even I didn't.
They just changed their mind at the last second.
Yeah, plans change, pal. And what
Ciampa was
happened
there.
here?
I mean, Gargano was there.
Gargano was in the back. Ciampa was there, and Ciampa said, "I beat him every time." And they're like, "Oh, shit, you're right, Gargano, you got to go. We're gonna keep the winner. We're keeping the winner now." Gargano's there with like a shaggy beard, being like, "I did the best I could. I tried to."
Damn it.
all patchy and shit. Looking like a kid.
He's gonna come back like Edge when he came back with a freaking uber big ass beard.
Yeah.
God.
And then, dude, the finish of the first one, Miz, AJ, Mustafa.
It was so
450.
Yeah.
And the 450. The only thing I didn't like, but it was still done so beautifully that it's like, God, I don't care. I just don't care. But you see Miz hoist him up into the thing, and you're just like seeing him hand it off to AJ.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if there's a more natural way to make it look, but you wish that there was, because it was just so fucking perfect and shot so perfectly.
It looks so natural. That's the thing. Like,
Yes.
it didn't even
Yeah.
look like there was like any help whatsoever. It just looked like a clean transition from a 450 straight up. And AJ's just like, hold on, I'll take this for a second. And I was just like, that is such a clean transition.
And Miz is a veteran of the ring, right? So you could argue that after being hit with such a big move, he might try to kick the dude off of him to buy
Push
himself some
out,
time. You know what I mean? To maybe even
Yeah.
roll out. You could argue that he was just trying to get Mustafa off of him, and it just
Yeah, I mean,
flop into AJ's arms.
I thought it was more of a like the rebound. Like you get hit, you know.
Yeah.
It just looked like Ali went 450, hit so hard that he went to like a handstand formation, and then AJ just grabbed him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good.
And see, when AJ went out, I was like, you know, when it was just Miz and Ali in the ring, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, Miz better not win this, god damn it, you know. And then when Ali, you know, hit the 450, I was like, oh shit, he's gonna win it, and you know, because I like Ali.
Yeah.
It's great if they pushed him. And I was like, oh shit. Then all of a sudden it was just Styles Clash, and I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
That's
And I was
just that's crazy.
that was
AJ's
amazing.
That's crazy that the 3 greatest Styles clashes that AJ's hit has been in WWE. Everywhere else, they've been all normal, but these have been like the 3 greatest ones have been in WWE. The Ricochet one, this one, and the other Ricochet one with the Phoenix Splash where he caught him. Like,
yeah.
Like,
Ricochet is
nuts.
so fucking incredible. I feel like that's part of who AJ is, though, because AJ's always like, he's always learning and trying to do better and trying to do more. What can I do? Like, is it at a certain point, you're really not building your character anymore if he's just getting to his finish and winning, right? Like, did Stone Cold grow if all he had to do was kick a dude in the stomach and knock him, right? AJ's still growing in an undersized and not underappreciated or anything, but like underestimated by their opponent, right? He's undersized, so he's underestimated, and so it's like, I can catch you, and I mean literally catch you off guard and knock you out. You know what I mean? Like, his character is still growing in WWE, which is fantastic, because he didn't have to. He could have shown up and said, same old, and I'm still the best that there ever was. And he'd be like, yeah, you're probably right. And he goes, but what if I add a different level of amazing, of learning of what I do, fluidity. Bishop in the chat says it was awesome, perfect dance and production. Yeah, the camera angles of it, like you said, you forget that AJ's even there until he catches them, dude. And the only other AJ Styles clash that I thought even came close to it was when he threw Ricochet into the ropes and Ricochet bounced back and then he caught him. Fucking so
that is
good.
the most unreal thing I've ever seen in my life. That is video game defined, that freaking Styles clash. I don't know how he did that. I never want to question it ever again.
Yeah, just amazing. Amazing.
Yes.
And then Ciampa, Gable, Ziggler, like fucking. If Ciampa just won that match, you feel like he should have a title on him. You know what I mean?
Right.
You had a triple threat with Ciampa, Gable, and Dolph. You go, oh, well, I guess Ciampa's taking the pin.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
The best thing about it, though, was it felt like Ciampa of old there.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
That's what I love about it.
Except for his gear, which is
I didn't
inspired.
Outside of him still hanging around with the Miz and everything else, I was like just watching the match and I go, that feels like Ciampa. That's old Ciampa right there, and I love it.
Yes.
That was just got me so. Everything else I didn't care. I was like, just give me this match. I love this. All in for it.
Yes.
Well, it's because I'm telling you guys, he's trying to get a reality show.
Ciampa is?
Yeah, that's why he's hanging out with the Miz.
He's gonna get the wife and the kid on a reality show. He's gonna be like the Miz.
Maybe about Ciampa. Ciampa in charge.
I would say
Ciampa in
his
charge. There you go.
wrestler.
Yes. It's just him bossing people around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting out of things, choking people out.
Yep.
But cheers to Bishop for coming through the chat. He did not take us up on the link I sent him, but it's only the biggest party of the summer.
Special VIP only invites.
That's true. Let's see. Moving through. Mysterio's defeated Finn Balor, Damian Priest of the Judgment Day with a return from Edge. Monday's day, it's a Tuesday, and everybody's wrong. You know?
Something like that.
Yeah. Edge, dude. Came out, flaming stairs. I will say that was one where the production was a little lacking. You really look like you were looking at some special effects stairs that were just there, and you're like, oh, and that's the mechanism. Oh yeah, here he comes. There's the I saw the mechanism. Here he comes. That could have been shot different for sure. But cool to see Edge back with a shitty haircut. I don't know why he had to get a patchy haircut. I think it was Bishop actually who mentioned it looks like he lost a hair versus hair match and didn't get it cleaned up. And I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. It was patchy as fuck. But Edge came back, speared the shit out of everybody. And overall, I mean, I liked it. I thought it was good. I want more for Judgment Day. I want it to work. But it feels like there's a disconnect, and I think right now the disconnect is an injury issue. I think with Rhea back, that's big. I just don't know. Something about it doesn't feel like it's clicking quite right, and I'm hoping the Edge from the outside can give this thing new life.
They, outside of, like I said, me hating 3 people faction, they need another member.
Yes.
I think that's what it is to me. Because you have the Mysterios and Edge now versus Judgment Day with Finn and Damian or Priest, and it feels like a 3-on-2 now.
True.
Even though Rhea's there, she's causing havoc, pushing Dom in front of Edge and stuff.
Yeah.
But it just feels like they need another one.
Yes.
Edge mentioned it before that, there's other people joining. I think they need that other person pop. I don't think it needs to be like a Dom turn or anything like that, but
True.
they need one more person to at least, like I said, it's 3-on-2 right now.
And especially when you think about it, you've got the Mysterios and Edge, so they can bring in Beth Phoenix to neutralize Rhea.
Yeah.
So they need one more. Who do you think they bring back? Gangrel? Braun Strowman?
Braun Strowman would be crazy, but
Braun Strowman would actually be really interesting.
I'm trying to.
I don't
know.
I don't even really have a lot of interest left in Judgment Day.
T-Bar.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for so long now. When they were saying new member, when Finn came out, I went, let's go T-Bar.
T-Bar and Mace, I thought, but now Massey's with Mansoor and the Maximilian Lodgers, and I don't want to take away from Massey. He titillates my juices like no other. Like, I don't want to pretend he's not out there titillating my juices, because he is. I'm juicy from his titillation. So I don't want to take away from Massey. But T-Bar's got nothing going on, and Papa H is back in charge, and that was his boy back in the NXT days. Let's put him out there with Judgment Day and even things up. And he's a big dude. He's big.
Yeah.
Bro, Priest and T-Bar together is a scary thought. That's two big-ass guys. Again, I haven't been feeling Judgment Day anymore. I think it's just, to me, it feels like it's running on fumes, which really sucks. I was into it at first, but then it was during the AJ feud, I lost a lot of interest in it. And then when they did the whole turning on Edge thing, I was just all out. It made no sense why, nothing. They just kept the group together as a thing and just kept everything attached to it that Edge had made for the group and just kept it attached to it. And we're like, oh yeah, you're supposed to expect this is a different group. But every time you look at it, you're just like, well, where's Edge? This was Edge. It's just, they did such a poor job with it. It's I think they should have won this match here at SummerSlam just for, something as a reset for them, because they really need it right now.
They do. And I do appreciate that you said they're running on fumes and not that it's run its course, because I do feel like those are two separate things, and I agree. They need more gas. They don't need to disband. Because I know a lot of people are like, just call it quits. It didn't work. And I'm like, no, I feel like there's so much here on the table. They just need more gas.
That's one thing we know about is gas.
I know a ton about gas, dude.
He's got a fart blast.
Give him the gas.
I know fumes when I smell them. Bishop in the chat says Ciampa in charge of our days and our nights. No.
Telling you, I'd watch it more than I'd watch Miz and Mrs.
And to jump over to Raw real quick, the Mysterios against the Usos I thought was fantastic. Edge had the promo out there, which I thought almost none of Edge's heel turn, and I've been saying it since episode 1, you can go back to episode 1. Almost none of Edge's heel turn felt natural, normal, or anything other than the crowd saying, whatever you'd like, Mr. Edge. Would you like me to boo you? Then I shall boo you. It never felt genuine at all, in any way. So for him to come back with his music and cut his impassioned babyface promo again, because bottom line is, you're beloved and we're playing along, but it's really hard to care when we're just playing along. We want you to play with us, right? So him being babyface gives us those jollies, and now he's back to, I think, where he needed to be to begin with. And I thought the promo was the best promo since he joined Judgment Day. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And then
very passionate. His promos always are.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was less cookie cutter than his generic bad guy promos that he would cut. And I even said it then. I think that I was hoping I was being worked and he was giving the good lines to the young folk and saying, let me take the easy shit that people don't give a shit about and make them look good. But he's back to just being a badass. And he speared Dominic because Dom had to come in with that stupid haircut. Mysterio's lost to the Usos because, they the ones.
So now it's going to be an Edge versus Dom, hair versus hair match.
Yes. Edge versus Dom, hair versus hair.
Dom's going
Somebody's going to get a good haircut.
Yeah. One way or another, someone's getting a goddamn haircut.
And Edge, I know a guy up in Canada. Cuts hair. Well, it's barbershop. Need a spot to go. Let me know.
Talking about Brutus?
No.
But yeah, dude, I loved Edge's comeback at Raw. His interference in the Summerslam match, it was like, okay, cool. Like you said, something we've been kind of expecting. Okay, here he goes. I did think it was funny that they did the end of that those video clips where it goes, "I'm coming to," and then this last one said, "Was it night? I'm coming tonight." Yeah. So it was kind of like, well, he clearly pre-recorded this. Like, you're telling me 4 weeks ago when he started writing on it took him 4 weeks to finish writing it? Like, that was a little... But I wish it at least said to fight or something, where it just made more sense that it could have been postponed. But he's like, I'm coming tonight. And they're like, he's like, I did it. I shot it in like 4 weeks. 4 more weeks. And then, and he's like, well, I said tonight. He goes, we won't play that part. But yeah, I mean, that's all I really had to say about Judgment Day and them. I like him. I want more. I want something. McAfee and Happy Corbin.
So good. Wasn't clean. Wasn't cleanest match, but my God, still great. Corbin gets you to hate him so much. You want McAfee to beat the shit out of him. Everybody loves Pat. The story going into it was great. Love the whole fact that they brought up them being on the same football team together.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It was just so well done. Baron Corbin truly may be the single most underrated person on that entire roster. He is the one person performing on such a high executing level that is constantly just disrespected by the audience at all times. And not strictly just because he needs that hate, but also just because the audience chooses to be blind to it. And it's kind of crazy. He is truly the most underrated on that roster, I think. Everyone talks about how he's dumb, awful, and boring, and they hate him. And it's really takes a lot of work for him to do that.
They're just getting work. Like, I love Corbin. Like, watching this match, I love Pat, love Corbin. Made me appreciate both of them even more because they're masters of their crafts. And yeah, like it was, exactly, it wasn't like, Justin said it wasn't the cleanest of matches, but still a great fucking match.
It was still good. A couple of athletes. Michael Cole on commentary was awesome. Corey Graves, I liked you before you had opinions, before you could speak your mind. And he's like, things have changed. A lot's changed. Where's where he goes, that's changed. A lot's changed. I loved after the match, McAfee walking over to Corey, giving him the suck it, giving a high five to Michael Cole, walking over to his buddy and chugging a beer, and then walking off. I like McAfee's got new music. So good.
God, I want Corey. I want Corey versus Pat so bad. Make that happen at Survivor Series. So
good. It made me think of Sports Beard. Constantly, whenever Corey would say anything bad about Pac, he's like, I see what you're doing, and I don't like it.
I put it as a little twist. I don't remember where the hell I put it as, but I said, have it be Cole and McAfee versus Corbin and Corey.
Ooh, that would be good.
And then it would be just a silent match.
I don't even know. Just have the Raw commentary team just do that whole commentary, that match.
Yeah.
Just like Jimmy Smith calling a freaking Michael Cole match. That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah. Amazing. And it has to be at WrestleMania, and Michael Cole's team has to win because he's undefeated at WrestleMania.
He's Mr. WrestleMania.
So we get Pat and Corey at Survivor Series and then the tag match at WrestleMania. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Triple H,
He's got a better win percentage than Undertaker at WrestleMania.
That's a good point.
Oof.
He absolutely does. Kuro's coming through the chat. Cheers to Kuro. He says he has an on-screen character for local Canadian promotion where he gets to wear a fox mask, a black suit with black pants, black tie, and black shoes, and be a manager, in quotes. I want your tagline to be, we ain't nothing to fox with. Just throwing that out there.
I love it.
We got the Usos and the Street Profits for the Undisputed Tag Team titles. The right guys won. You had Double J as a referee. You had a lot of dissension here with Montez. He was getting in the referee's face. He was talking shit to the referee more than the Usos. And I was like, you get the fuck out of his face. Double J's doing his double job. You know what I mean?
Good job.
Yeah,
But
2 jobs.
2 jobs. But I thought it was a really good match. I'm done with Street Profits in their entirety. I mean, if you want to fast forward immediately to Raw, you had Seth talking some shit. Street Profits come out for no fucking reason whatsoever. Seth says, I'll take one of you guys on. They get a ref. Montez doesn't play rock, paper, scissors, runs out there, gets his match. Dawkins disappears for the rest of the night. We never see him again. They have was a tremendous match. Really weird. I thought at least a backstage segment was coming. And there was not. Go ahead.
Real quick, they keep saying there's no, rift between us, this and that, blah, blah, blah. He has his match, and he's not ringside.
Not ringside. Not mentioned.
And if I remember correctly, wasn't Montez ringside for every one of Dawkins' singles matches?
Yeah.
That sounds like it looks like a rift to me.
Yeah, that's a rift, dude. I do think that Montez and I think that Montez and Seth was an amazing match. I thought it was fantastic.
Yes.
And it really, to me, highlighted how little I needed Dawkins or the Street Profits as a unit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
Justin?
like you said,
See, I thought their match at SummerSlam under-delivered. I don't know. I wasn't feeling the match at SummerSlam. He just had a match of the year candidate at Money in the Bank, and then you follow up with this, and it just kind of felt like a letdown. Wasn't really feeling Jeff Jarrett. Like, he was incredibly inconsistent with his counts. Like, he was like counting slow, counting fast, counting normal, and I'm like, Jeff, make up your mind here. Like, it was just.
I thought he was doing that on purpose.
I thought so too at first, but then he kept doing it over and over, and I was just like, just doesn't know how to ref, I guess. That's just the thing. Like,
counting is hard.
I thought the turn was coming, because all this stuff about people being like, the turn's gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and I'm just like, I thought at the end of the match at SummerSlam, I thought it was gonna happen, but it didn't, and I was just like, I love the Street Profits. I don't want them to break up. I really don't. But it's more than likely coming. Tez shows on Monday that he'd kill it as a single star. It's just, I don't think we can really have another tag team go apart right now. But that, again, like, what else is there for the Street Profits to do other than go single? Like, as a team, kind of really got nothing left for them either to do. Like, they've already won every tag team title now. Like,
and they've been beaten into the ground for the last year and a half, 2 years almost. It's been a while since they've won.
And I think,
go ahead.
It's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't right now. Like,
well, see, and I think this is the perfect time to do it, since there's not one tag title on Raw and SmackDown. We have the unified champions. The tag team division doesn't have to be prominent on either show. So if you break up a tag team, I don't think it's going to, have as much impact as if Raw had their own tag titles and, they only had 3 or 4 teams.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's kind of at the state what I've talked about. When Marsh talked about it, it's kind of like merging the tag divisions together as one right now. So
Yeah.
I'd say keep it as this right now because I'm kind of fine with it.
Yeah. I think we should break up the Street Profits. I got no use for Dawkins.
Turned him into Dumpy Dawkins.
Yep.
But I do think it is time for the Usos to lose those tag titles, though. Like
I do too.
I thought Summerslam was the start.
Yeah, I was actually kind of rooting for a while there for the Street Profits. And just because, the Usos have beaten everyone, just like Roman. It's like some kind of little change needs to happen.
I thought this was the start of the decline of the bloodline. Didn't mean to make that rhyme, but I thought this was the start of it, and now it's just like it's still going. It's like, are they just going to do it in one night? They just both lose at the same time. Like, I don't know. Interesting.
Do you think that the Maximum Male models take the tag titles off of the Usos?
No.
I think we're real close to that probably happening.
I think it'd be hilarious.
Let alone freaking win the tag titles.
They may not have wrestled, but they titillate the juices.
They don't titillate my juices.
There's no way they're not tittling your juices, dude.
They're not titillating juices. They make my juices just kind of freaking boil.
Dry. Very dry.
Harden up? Would you say they harden up your juices? What? What? I'm trying to get the lowdown over here.
Harden.
Yeah. Because the Usos aren't titillating anybody's juices. They would say if they were. They say, you the twos, we the ones. And the Maximum Male models are covered in juices.
God, I can't even picture the Usos coming out there and having a face-to-face with them and going, we're the ones who titillate people's juices. And I'll be like, oh, my God.
That'd be so good. So good.
So out of the tag teams, who do you think could take them from the Usos?
Probably Viking Raiders.
Yeah.
Probably the New Day.
New Day could, but we've been down that road. I could see the Viking Raiders getting a serious go.
I hope so, because I love those guys, and I hope they get an uber push as heels right now, so let's go.
Yeah. You know who it's not going to be is DIY. Fuck Gargano.
Is it just they changed their mind last night?
So good, though. DIY versus the Usos? You had me at DIY versus the Usos.
DIY not.
Yeah, but the Usos are the ones.
Yeah, but they do it themselves.
Will titillate their own juices, thank you very much. They did a couple things in the SummerSlam that was kind of interesting as far as like just almost crowd work, having Drew McIntyre come out and wield his sword at young boys and ask what their names were and get the crowd to chant for him and say, hey, I'll be at Clash of the Castle, titillating juices and
watching me play with my sword.
Yeah. Just wiggling his sword around.
Watch me have the power and create pyrotechnics. Like,
yeah, it was all right. kind of neat though, the idea of having him come out, because they also had like a video package for Charlotte. They had like a video package for Kevin Owens. They had this Riddle and Seth Rollins business where they had kind of a pull apart thing. I thought it was a neat way to kind of break up the night and highlight other people, all those little segments. But I don't know if it added a ton. Do you?
Not really.
No.
Riddle Rollins stuff, I was weirded out by it. I was like, why in the world did they cut it off if they were just going to have a brawl? But if they're saving it for Clash of the Castle, I'm all in, because two of them make me want the match. I can't wait to see those two.
But that was like a Raw segment. Like, that shouldn't have been on SummerSlam.
Yeah. Yes.
And, outside of, and maybe the same thing with Drew, outside of WWE thinking, hey, we, obviously card subject to change, but if we, we have been promoting Seth and Riddle if we're going to fake this injury, but still at least have them show up.
Yes.
Because, the matches the way they were, like, this would have been a long-ass pay-per-view if they had that match as well.
Yes. Yeah. I did wonder, I lost it because it had something to do with Seth coming out there the way they did. Like, it just felt like it dragged on a little. What made it fun to me, the fact that they did that, was the amount of speculation going on about who was going to be Seth's opponent. That Seth was going to get a match, right? That of course he'll get a match. And then what WWE did is all like, even with the tweet, you see the tweet where Seth put out a tweet saying, sorry for anybody who bought a ticket hoping to see me perform. I did everything I could to try and get on the card. Like, it is what it is. Ricochet was all like, I feel the same. And I was like, dude, you're not the same. But Triple H retweeted Seth, not Ricochet for the record, and said, I hear ya. So I like that he's like, I hear ya. You definitely want to be on the card. Here's what we'll do. Let's put you in a throwaway segment real quick. The amount of people are going, like, it's going to be Gargano. It's going to be Bray Wyatt. Like, I just fucking loved it. They're like, no, it's going to be just a thing.
See, I think they needed, if the ramp wasn't so long, the damn ramp fucked things up.
Yes.
But I think Seth should have gone out there, said, hey, for all my fans, you guys wanted to see me, blah, blah, blah. I'm challenging anyone that comes out here. And then Riddle's music plays, and they have like a not Riddle come out, like almost like a Gilbert.
Mm-hmm.
Seth just kicks his ass, and then Riddle jumps in from the crowd and starts attacking him.
Thing all over again.
Bring Mac and Fart back, dude.
Yeah,
that was so good. That'd been really good.
Stuff like Riddle carrying a surfboard, just saying "bro" the entire time, like
bro.
It's on the screen. It's just made up freaking sentences.
Yeah, he's like the I Am Groot, but with bro. Bro.
Sound like a South Park character.
He's communicating with Fart Blaster.
Mm-hmm. He's sending an SOS. Timmy fell down a well.
Yeah. There's only two more matches on SummerSlam. Liv Morgan, Ronda Rousey. I didn't hate it, but it was a little weird.
Yeah.
Do you think the timing was off, or do you think that... Because here's the unfortunate part. Is with the way they did the finish, it was definitively the ref had a bad call. Mm-hmm. It was the ref fucked up. And they said so even on commentary. That was a bad call by the ref. By all intents and purposes, Ronda should still be the champion, or should be the new champion. Mm-hmm. Anyone with two eyes can clearly see the ref fucked up and Liv's got the championship for no reason. So it undermines Liv a little bit too much and puts too much of the heat on the ref. Because then now you have, Adam Pearce to come out and make it right? You know what I mean? Best case, what do we get? Another fucking match there? I don't know if that's... You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see. I thought it was going to be a classic, Money in the Bank, cash in, actual match, make the new champion look strong, cool. And maybe that's just the way to swerve it, because maybe everyone was expecting it. So maybe we have this. Time,
she could have started counting a fraction of a second before the 3 or on the 3. So it's the shadow of the benefit of the doubt is with the champion at that point. You know what I mean? Because a little bit of champion's advantage. But it was like 1, 2, tap, 3.
Yeah.
And you're just like, fuck. It really should have been like 1, 2, tap 3. You know what I mean? And it's like, was that before or after? Was that the same time? Hold on. You know what I mean? Because then you can say the referee made a call based off what his vision was, and it was so close to call, we have to let it lie with the ref. At this point, you can absolutely say, hey, ref, you're a dumbass. Look at the replay. And he goes, yeah, I'm just stupid.
That's how he goes to the runner. But,
Yeah.
you know, maybe that was what they were trying to do, and they just botched it. Like,
That's what I'm
because,
wondering.
I mean, the tap came way too close. Or way too, you know.
Soon. Way too early.
Yeah, soon, before the 3. And yeah.
And I love Liv Morgan as a champion. And I really want her championship to not feel like a folly. And having her so clearly tap out for a full second before the 3,
Mm-hmm.
it's bullshit, man.
It made her look incredibly weak.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't say incredibly weak, but it didn't make her look strong.
I mean, she
Because-
definitely looked like they had Ronda like beat the shit out of her. Like it was pretty
She looked
one-sided.
resilient.
It was.
She was
It was.
resilient.
No, it looked
She was
like
taking a beating.
she got her ass kicked and tapped out, but the ref fucked up, so she's still the champion.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I
Like,
think the
you know,
ending was- I do. I
Yeah,
think the ending.
It had to be, right?
Yeah, because I love Liv. I'm glad she finally won the championship. I wish she was still a little strung out more, but you know, she's got it. Cool. You know, floors. Let's see what you got. And she cashed in, and you know, Ronda barely lost that.
Yeah.
After Ronda drops the ankle and then picks it back up, and okay, come here, and then wins with a roll up.
Mm-hmm.
After she had, Ronda had a match. And then this happens. You know, she gets beaten up for 15, 20 minutes. And then she taps out, but Ronda's shoulders happen to be down, and she's still the champion.
I just think it's disappointing,
It's a
especially
Yeah.
for a very like early title run, and you're gonna put this kind of nonsense on it already. Like, I thought it was pretty disappointing. Like, we want Liv, like everyone's behind Liv Morgan,
Yeah.
and it's just, like all this was just to get to Ronda turning heel. That's all it was. But it's like, I think no matter what situation you put it in, we were going to get another match, no matter what, which really sucks. And I don't know. I think it's going to be over really soon, and that's really shitty.
Yeah, I do too.
I think you didn't have to go with the second match. I think that you could have, if the count was at the same time, you would have Ronda with a reason to be pissed. To me, it was a tap before. And because she even had that line, I've been doing this my whole life. You think I don't know a tap out when I feel it? Yes. So in her mind, the tap happened before the 3 count because I was being calculated, right?
Oh, what's even
but if
worse
it was
about her
closer,
saying
that would be a better argument.
Yeah. I was going to say, what's worse about her saying that, like, hey, I know what a tap out. Okay, then you would have let go, and your shoulders would have come off the mat before 3.
Yes, they both look kind of foolish, and I think the count was supposed to be so close that it was supposed to be Ronda saying, "Trust me, she tapped before the 3." And then I think you also could have been the tie goes to the runner, and no, you don't get a rematch just because in this case we're going with the official because it was so close to call. We have to go with what the person sees in the ring. This is so not close to call that now we either have to have a rematch or just keep someone looking stupid forever, and it sucks.
But see, I think this was just to get Ronda to turn, and yes, I think we were going to have the third. I'm not complaining about that so far. But I think we were going to have the third match no matter what. But knowing the struggles Ronda had after she lost her UFC title, and how she was depressed and upset and stuff like that, I think if Liv would have won clean and maybe not decisive but like actually won clean, Ronda could sit there almost like how Becky had a meltdown, like just sit there and be like, no, this can't be happening again, this can't be happening, and then attack Liv, and then we have the heel turn and everything else.
Yep.
But for this Schmaz finish, even if it was executed right, I don't think I would have enjoyed it.
Yeah. And they put out a thing now where she was fined and suspended, I believe, or at least a fine.
Suspended indefinitely.
Yeah, suspended indefinitely, which maybe that's just how we put off her having the rematch for a while. Maybe she comes back in 3-4 months for Survivor Series or something, or maybe Rumble.
But for a suspension indefinitely, like, she needed to be attacking more than the couple people she did.
She beat the shit out of a ref, Dick.
100%. But who hasn't? Everyone
on.
does it. Braun Strowman's, attacked the entire crew, ripped down the damn Titantron or whatever, the scaffoldings and shit like that.
Over an 18-wheeler, like, come on.
Yeah, like, I think if
there
she
wasn't
attacked...
a ref inside the 18-wheeler.
There was refs around there. What if it fell backwards another way?
See, I think, for an indefinite suspension, I think it would have been great if she fucking lost her shit. She, like, puts Michael Cole through the table or something like that, or whoever the commentary was. And then she's standing there, a fan gets in her face,
Dude.
And then she attacks the fan. Like, I think that would have been fucking crazy.
Put a fan plant. Dude,
Yeah,
what if she
that would
grabbed the fucking hammer from the bell and just hit Samantha Irvin right in the fucking head? Just boom, fucking boom, blade job. Samantha's like, ah!
Just
You know what I mean? Like,
commentary for that. Just going, oh my God, she's attacking Samantha. I'd be like...
And then Shanky comes to the rescue.
right? And then we get Shanky versus
Ronda.
Fuck, what's her husband's name? Matt Brown.
Oh, Matt Brown.
Yeah, it is
Matt Brown. No, it's Travis Brown.
No, Travis Brown.
Matt Brown.
Travis Brown, and I like bubbles.
God damn it. All this stupid Matt Brown shit from you got me all fucked up.
We're big on Browns around here.
Yeah. Brown town. But you know what I mean? Like, I think in definition suspension, like, if she attacked a fan or two, was fucking going crazy, I would say destroy the set, but that was, like, one of the weakest entrances I've ever seen at a pay-per-view or live event.
Yeah, it was pretty
Premium
simple.
live event.
Quick shout out to Samantha. I wasn't saying that as a mean thing about Samantha. I think she's amazing. She's so good. When we were at Smackdown Live and we were watching, like, we had a hard time figuring out if she was watching her or the match, because her reaction to the match was like, it was everything you want to see in a fan. You know what I mean? Like, she
was into it.
This.
She was like, yeah.
She was fully emotionally invested in everything. She would sit there and they would do moves and she would big expressions. And she's not on camera. She doesn't do big expressions. She's like, whoa. She would, like, see something crazy and look around like, did you guys see that? Like, she was just in utter amazement by everything. And it was so refreshing to see. There was no desensitizedness to her. It was very much like watching a kid there, and it was just awesome. So, I wasn't trying to say that to be mean to Samantha. I think she's a gem.
Oh, yeah. And after seeing her at that SmackDown, I'm 99% sure she starts the "This is awesome" chant.
I think she starts them. Yeah.
Every time.
Mm-hmm.
Just Samantha.
They don't mic the crowd anymore. They just put a mic near her.
Yeah. It's just her.
Mm-hmm.
Why does it sound like one person's yelling?
Yeah. It's just with an echo on it.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at Raw real quick because I'm not seeing anything else that we haven't talked about enough of. Yeah, and then it just leads us into the main event of SummerSlam. We'll do that. Roman Reigns defeats Brock Lesnar. Go ahead.
Oh, no. We'll finish that. This is just a random throw out there.
You can throw out a random thing before we get to the main event.
No. We'll finish the show and then...
You're going to forget the thing.
No, I'm not.
You're definitely
going to forget the thing, you said.
I bet you $20.
All right. I could use $20. I'm going to keep the bet. Roman Reigns defeats...
Last call. See you guys.
Yeah, let's go. Roman Reigns defeats Brock Lesnar to retain the WWE Undisputed WWE Universal WWE Championship
24 I-10 Championship.
Yeah, and remains to be the one Tribal Chief. And what was a pretty good match, but I think that's all I got to say about it. You guys ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, it's all right. What I think was really cool about this, first off, I think this is the match that everyone wanted. Yes. This is the match that everyone's been expecting since the first time we ever heard Brock Lesnar versus Roman. But none of us could have imagined that this is what we wanted, right?
Oh,
None of us. None of us got to the point in our minds where we were like, we want something big. We want to destroy the ring. Like, we never could get our imaginations to go that direction. But when you see it play out, you go, this is everything I've wanted from them. I also think that without all of the fails and the misses along the way, that we don't get to this. I think we get half of this as their final WrestleMania match. I think if their WrestleMania match was half of this, we wouldn't have gotten this rematch at SummerSlam. Because I think that these two dudes were getting progressively more upset that these matches kept having these things that was fucking it up. These injuries, these issues, these missed times, this build issue, that I think by this point, they said there's just no fucking way that we can't make this fucking work on the highest level. And then this is the match we get. A goddamn tractor ripping the stage apart that opened up with with Brock, first off announcing himself in such a great way, but then doing a fucking Luthes Prez off of the fucking crane onto Roman. When I saw that, I went, oh shit! Like, couldn't believe that's how we started.
Well, even before that, the thing, the clip that I think was amazing was just how Brock throws the mic and Roman just nonchalantly catches it
and winks at him.
Yeah. He's just like, boom. All right, thanks.
He didn't even raise his hand to catch it. He opened his palm.
Yeah.
He just opened his palm. Boom. Amazing.
Yeah.
Two things happened there, for one, right? Both these dudes are incredible. But you got a football player in Roman, and you got Brock Lesnar who can throw Otis where he wants him. These were two dudes. If anyone's going to pull that the fuck off, which I don't think they intended to, but I think Brock was throwing it at his hand because I think Brock wanted to hit him in the hand like a dick. And I think that Roman
was throwing it at him in general. And it just happened to
be close enough, and Roman just went.
Yeah.
Because I also love that Roman catches it, winks at him. Yeah, that's true too. I love that Roman catches it, winks at Brock, holds it for a second, and then just hands it to Paul Heyman, and then goes, "Give me the titles." Fucking. And I like when he said, "Give me the titles." It was after he hands him the mic, and then he reaches back out for the titles, and Paul was like, "Did you want the mic back?" And he's like, no, and he's like, "Fuck, give me the titles." Like he swiped at the mic because like Heyman was all like, "Oh, did you want to say like whatever you want, my tribal chief?" You know?
Yeah.
But that was amazing, dude. That catch, I've watched it almost as many times as I've watched Pat McAfee kick Adam Cole in the head, and it is never not impressive. Number one clip I've ever watched is Pat McAfee running and kicking Adam Cole in the head and just knocking him dead on the commentary table. And this is probably number 2.
Yeah, it's up there.
Oh, yeah. It's so good. But then, yeah, the loose press. So, because I also had the, I don't know if it benefit is the word, but I had the hindsight available because I had already seen a lot of the clips. I knew what was going to happen. I knew that he was on the trailer. I saw him, in the flannel with the hat on the trailer. The tractor. But when I'm watching it, when I finally go back to watch it, he comes out shirtless and starts walking towards the ring, and I was like, what the fuck? How does he get to a fucking tractor? And then halfway down the ramp, he just goes like, I'll go get it. And fucking turns around and then pulls a shirt and hat out of it and puts it on. And I was like, oh my God, 2 complete entrances. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Drives it down there.
His logo on the bucket.
The logo on the bucket, dude.
That was so great.
And it was like the side plate logo. It had the gold ring around it. I was like, fuck you, dude. That's a championship emblem.
Let's go.
It's like so fucking good. The fact that it took both Usos, the fact that Paul Heyman took that F5, and you hear him as soon as he goes up, you see him hug onto Brock like he was a teenage girl on the back of a motorcycle for the first time, just as tight as could be. And then you hear him just go, oh my God.
I lost my shit when Brock F5 Porky Pig through the table. It was
when he hit the walrus, I couldn't believe it. The way he put him down too. I'm watching it and I'm seeing the whole thing. And Paul Heyman sold it the rest of the night. There was like 10 more minutes of match. And the Usos carried him to the back, and he was still like, like he was dragging each foot as he went, like,
I think it was better if they just pushed him into the thing of the tractor and just wheeled him back in the tractor.
Just wheeled
Oh
him
my
in the bucket.
It's so good.
Oh, and what I was gonna say, with taking the tractor, destroying the ring and stuff like that, like that shit we used to do as kids. I see my kids playing with their wrestlers and destroying the ring, and all of a sudden, there's random other toys in there, and I'm like, holy shit, this was awesome. This was, this is shit that we thought of as kids and never saw it happen. And now you had a tractor lifting up the fucking ring, and the only thing that I thought was funny about that is when he lifted up the ring, I was like, oh, that's how they get where Theory can't cash in, because there's no fucking ring to cash in on.
Oh, we can't get the count in the ring?
Yeah, because he handed it to the ref, and it's like, wait, all the past years, which I thought was fucking stupid, they had to stand up, ring the bell, everyone okay, let's go. And, there was no fucking ring. How can you have a match without a fucking ring?
I'm almost upset at how poetic that is. And that we didn't catch that, and I've seen nobody talk about it. Because Austin Theory does come out. A-Town Down comes out with the briefcase and says, I'm going to do it. And then immediately gets his ass handed to him by both Roman and Brock. And I believe the Usos also beat the shit out of him for a minute, and then he's just laid out the rest of the time. Something I didn't get to see live, so I had to ask, are they counting this as a cash-in? Because I saw that he was running out, and I saw him laid out. And they said they didn't announce it, and they didn't ring the bell, so no. And I was like, okay. But what no one pointed out was, even if he did, where would he go?
You can't have a match in that ring. One side's held up.
Yeah.
And I think the ref should have said that. Like, you can't do
this. Yeah, he should have pointed at the ring. Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Where am I going to count? Like, he should have been pantomiming the whole thing. I can't count to 3. There's no... It's going to slide down.
Would have been just kept it as last man standing, though. Like, it just made it a triple threat, which would have been so weird. Because I kind of wanted to see how they would have had to work that.
Would have been tough.
That's true, because he interfered in the match. The match wasn't over, so I guess it would have just become a triple threat last minute.
Which was the idea with Seth. Make it a triple threat, right? Seth made a triple threat, and we saw Seth take Theory under his wing and coach him, as it were, on how to do the cash-in. So he could have easily said, make it a triple threat and just win it, right? But he also was cashing in at a time where it was like, both guys could still get up. So...
And that was the whole... And it makes Theory look stupid, because that was the whole thing that they've been talking about for the past month or two, that, they can cash in after this match.
Yeah.
And then he runs out there like a dumbass during the match. And, yeah.
I mean, he looked kind of like a dumbass for one reason, though. I mean, he comes running out there and only hits Roman. I'm like, what does he expect? Brock Lesnar just to ignore him? I'm like, no, kind of dumb there. Like, I was like, you just showed your inexperience there, Theory. That is not good on your end there. Like, I was a little disappointed in him. I was like, he hits Roman with the briefcase, and I'm like, okay, now hit Brock. And then he turns around and gives the ref the case, and I'm like, stupid.
Yeah. Yep.
Someone asked me if I thought this was Brock Lesnar's last match. I believe it was Bishop, because he's full of terrible takes. What I didn't say to him, which I was thinking at the time, was Paul Heyman took an F5. That feels a lot like a last match to me. When I saw Paul Heyman take the F5, I went, oh shit, this might be the end of Brock. Because Paul Heyman's begging him, giving him the titles, just please don't take Roman away from me. And Heyman takes the F5. He's never taken an F5. There's been teases of it. There's been a number of times he's teased he's going to get physical, and Brock's picked him up and put him down different ways. But seeing him take an F5 through a table and sell it the whole way through, I thought I could see Paul doing that for Brock in the end of his career, but not for just some random match to push a story along the way. You know? Paul Heyman doesn't got a lot of bumps left in him. And he's not going to take a lot of bumps for people. But there's no one probably in the world he trusts more than Brock Lesnar to give him the bump the right way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
He bumped him right.
He bumped him right.
The fact that Brock went in the ring after felt like a goodbye, almost.
Yes. Climbed up there, put his hat back on, just kind of smiled in this destroyed ring, looking at the crowd. I like how he announced himself, big old country boy.
Hey, if this is his last match, this is a hell of a way to go out.
This
I'll
is
say that.
going to be hard to fucking top from anyone, let alone himself. You know? Like, this is easily a good way to go out.
Yeah.
If anyone were to see this match and you were to say, this is that guy's last match ever, they'd be like, fuck yeah.
I mean, it's now, as in my honest opinion, their greatest match ever they've had. That they've ever had and will ever have with each other.
Oh,
this is
by far.
insane.
Yeah, easy.
Unless
Easy
next
runaway.
time there's 2 tractors.
And 2 rings in a War Games match, and he crushes the whole thing in a trash compactor.
I still can't get over the tractor. I still can't get over the tractor lifting the ring. That still blows me away.
Yeah.
I literally thought he was trying to flip the whole thing. I thought that's what he was going to do. I was like stunned.
Well, I thought he was just pushing it because, he pushed it for a minute.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, that's it. And then he backs up and then gets it and then lifts it. I was like, oh, fuck. Okay.
I thought he was going to do the whole thing. I was waiting for it.
I
The
was
other
hoping
thing-
Hornswoggle was going to be underneath there and run out towards
That
the
would have
back.
been hysterical.
Well,
actually.
see, outside of the state, I was expecting that too. Just somebody. Maybe not even just Hornswoggle, like R-Truth or just somebody to be like, oh my God, they found me, and just run off. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Whoever
But
the
obviously you
24/7
don't wanna-
champion is, just down there like, ah!
Yeah. Can you imagine Brock fucks it up and kills somebody and then they lift the ring and their corpse is down there?
Just
It's like,
gutted.
oh, fuck.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Put it down. Put it down.
Put it down, put it down, put it down. Please, 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 please put it down. Justin,
But the
I
other
want to
thing
know.
that-
Oh, go ahead, Kev.
I was just going to say, when Brock first brought the tractor out, parked it, was I the only one nervous that it was like over the ring and somebody was going to fucking take a hit on the side of their head? On the
Those
bucket?
2 dudes are pretty low fighters. They don't jump a lot. So I felt like okay in that. What I did think kind of sucked was the when they tried to dump Roman out of the bucket. If he had it high enough, he'd brought it. The angle of it was just such that Roman kind of like spilled out and he didn't like fall. But at first I was like, oh, this could be sick if he's higher than the ring to the point where it's like this would suck to fall from. And as it was coming down, it was just all like, oh wait, no, he just kind of fell to his feet. That was almost perfect. But
Drop a sack of bricks.
if the Usos had run out there while the tractor was still up top, I'd have been like, oh shit, they're gonna cut their own head off doing a dive,
But see, I saw them like picking each other up and stuff like that. Not necessarily jumping, hitting it, like because it didn't seem like that far off the mat.
It's true.
I didn't think the clearance was there.
Justin, you're not on
Yes.
Apple Podcast yet, so I don't get to hear all your episodes, and I catch them when I can because it's a little more difficult than me. But I see your Twitter. Can you recount how many times you potentially said you just do not give a shit about this Brock and Roman match? We've seen it a million times.
A lot. I'm glad I went into it that way. Because I am. I'm glad I
Lowered
went into this
expectations.
match not giving a shit. I'm glad I went into this match not giving a shit because it blew me away in the end. That's all I cared.
I like the twist
That's all
on
I
it.
wanted. That's all I
Yeah.
wanted the match to do. Was I was going to go into it with no excitement because I was just like, great, we're getting another Brock Roman match. Like, I just don't give a damn. Like, we're at the point where it's like, why are we getting this again? Enough's enough. And then you go in and then have the match. I'm just like, well, I'm blown away. Thanks a lot, guys. That's all I needed. That's all I wanted from this match was, yeah, I don't give a crap because it's the same match that these guys have always had, but then they have a last man standing match and it blows me away. So,
And it was everything that none of their matches ever were.
yeah, it was
You know what I mean?
completely different. It's different from their other matches, and that is why it is so much better than every match they've had. Because every match beforehand is the same thing. Loads of Superman punches, loads of spears, loads of German suplexes, loads of F5s. That's all their matches are.
Yeah. You heard it here
Just
first.
loads.
Justin shit all over it all the way through and was blown away by the end of it, and now it's his favorite Roman Brock match in the history of time.
Yes, easily.
So if any 2 people could have one more match and make it mean something, it was this moment here, and it happened. The amount of people I saw being like, but it's going to be garbage, always garbage. It never lives up to what it's supposed to. And then this match happened to go, that was pretty goddamn good. I'm like, yeah, fuck every one of you.
I was happy. I was happy to say that night that this is their greatest match they've had. I was happy as hell to say that because it literally made me just absolutely overjoyed watching it.
Yeah. Just in time is the twos because we the ones.
I hate that thing.
Really? I like it. I like it because they call everyone a poop. That's why I like it.
I know, it sounds like...
Yeah, but they're literally calling themselves piss.
Yeah.
No, they're not calling themselves the pisses.
For me, it sounds like a fucking, motto for a proctologist. You the twos, we the ones.
We the ones.
Yeah, but proctologists save lives, so get checked.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Do you guys know where the ones came from? Because they mentioned it on an interview once. They were all fired up backstage one time, and they're like, day in and day out, it's us. We're the ones who go to every house show. We're the ones that can go do main event, at the drop of a dime. We're the ones that never not show up. We're the ones who do the meet and greets. We're the ones they can count on. We're the ones who are going to tear down the show. We're the ones going to steal the show. You put us on the kickoff show, we the ones that are going to walk away with everyone talking about us. And all of a sudden, that's when it clicked with them. We're the ones.
Nice.
See, I thought it was because they were twins.
Because they're twins?
Yeah.
But twins
and
are
everyone
twos.
Thinks that but everyone thinks that they're one person. They can't tell them apart.
That's fucked up. It's way fucked up the way you said it. But also, what a great display of that very fact this weekend. They had a fucking killer match. Maybe not the best match they've ever had with the Street Profits on SummerSlam, but a killer match. Told a lot of story in the SummerSlam match. At the end of the night, they're right there to take out Brock, right? And it took everyone to take out Brock. I loved they stacked tables and chairs and stairs, super kicked them. Go ahead.
That was the one bit that I did not like in this match. Why the hell was the ref counting while they were piling shit on?
Because he still wasn't moving his shoulders, dude.
But that's fine. But if he's laying down and they kick him, that's still a move. So if you're throwing shit on top of him, I think they needed to pile everything on top of him. Roman stand on it and then do the 10. I don't know if Brock could breathe for that long, but
yeah, I was back and forth on it too. I was like, really, he's not going to stop the count for this interaction here? But I think part of it was they were really just driving home that he's done and we're burying him because this is all we got, right? But yeah, I mean, even Michael Cole with the please count faster, like just fucking get this over with. They're dying out here, Yeah. And then followed up the next 2 nights later on Raw, the Usos having a banger match with the Mysterios. Like they're the ones who are showing up and they're doing it and they're making it count. As much as people think that they've had the championships too long, I'm hard pressed to name a tag team in the world as hardworking and dedicated and having the kinds of matches that the Usos are having day in and day out. And I'm not trying to say that to disrespect the other tag teams. I'm just saying that at the end of this run, when they finally give those over, make sure we're always putting respect on the Usos' names when it comes down to it. FTR? Fuck the Revival. That's what I always say. # Young Bucks.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding. I hate them. But but I'm just saying the Usos really showed up this weekend. But this match, like I said, the greatest match they've ever had. Either one of those dudes could retire at this and you'd say, yeah, I guess. Like, I'm hard pressed to think Roman can do much better. I bet he does. But
how interesting would that have been, though, if Theory cashes in, walks away the championship, and that was Brock and Roman's last match?
Yeah, right after he does the one, he just gets fucking blindsided by Theory, gets the fucking titles, and that's it. 2 retired. Theory moves on. That'd have been wild.
I thought he was
and
going to do it.
He could be the new legend killer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Anything else from this weekend you guys wanted to talk on?
Not from this weekend, but I need to cash in on my bet.
Oh yeah, what do you got?
Where do you think they're going with Moss?
With Moxley?
Right now? Moss.
Riddick Moss.
Madcap. There you go. I still just like Moss. Madcap. Because the more I watch him, no, but the more I watched him coming out, he kind of reminded me of this one dude, and I'm like, yo, like I was behind him. If they, with the changes, bring him back, like I think if Moss or Madcap and Mojo, they brought back Mojo, I think that'd be a badass tag team.
I agree.
Stop reading my mind. I said that before.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I literally was saying that. I haven't said it, I only said it, talking with my brother. I was like, watch Madcap and Mojo at some point end up as a tag team. I was like, that actually could work really.
Yeah,
really
like Hype Bros 2 or whatever. Like,
you know what you call him?
Something up?
Call him Riddy Mojo.
No.
Yeah, Riddy Mojo.
No.
I mean, if he's not going to be, I'd say just make him a nice, strong mid-carder. Put him in contention for that IC title.
Here's the problem with putting Riddy Mo and Mojo together as a tag team. Is they already have a team that are titillating the juices, and I just feel like that Riddy Mojo would be titillating the juices so hard. You know what I mean?
Good.
You want me to get my juices titillated? Give me Mojo and Riddick Moss.
That'll get me going. I'll rev me up. What's funny? What was announced on socials just yesterday was Riddy Mo and Tennille Dashwood, the former Emelina of famed Emelina. It's All About Me storyline. They're a couple now.
Fantastic.
So maybe that's why he's been off TV. Maybe she's giving him a ton of pointers and says, stay off TV as long as you can.
And get paid. Get paid.
Trust me, just stay off TV. I don't know where they're going with him other than he was looking really strong. I can't remember the last match we saw him in because he was talking shit. It was against Theory, wasn't it? He said he was gonna put Theory's briefcase into his mouth and move it around and stuff.
He said he was gonna shove it all in
and stuff.
Okay.
He said that. I'm not saying that for him. He was like, I'm gonna madcap this dude. I'm gonna get his briefcase all the way up in it, around it. I'm gonna thumb it. I'm gonna splatter it.
That's literally what he said. I'm gonna take his briefcase. I'm gonna shove it all up in there.
Yeah, he's gonna say, I'm gonna see how far all the way up in it.
I don't know where specifically he meant. I don't know if he meant in his ass, in his mouth.
It was tough to say, dude. He said, I hope he's got no gag reflex because here I come. And you're like, dude.
He's going to make those tonsils sign the contract.
Yeah.
So how'd that briefcase taste?
Loser loses tonsils match. What? What? Bruce isn't writing anymore. I can say whatever I want now because it won't happen. Bruce is still having drinks with us, but he's not head of creative anymore. So,
and it's clear because there is no goddamn ref guitar. Damn it!
Because there was no ref guitar and there was no bare feet. That's how we know he's no longer in charge of control. Bruce Pritchard, the greatest contributor to WikiFeed of all time of WWE.
True. Who's the follower who's now in consulting?
Talking about Kuro?
Yeah. It's Kuro now.
Yeah, Kuro's like, hey, we don't need as much feet. We get a lot of flack for that, I hear. Yeah. So, anything else? Because, I don't know what direction they're going with him other than, he probably has a couple weeks off because whatever's going on with him and Emelina. And hopefully he comes back soon and just starts shoving things up into people.
Maybe he was indefinitely suspended after their relationship came out.
Yeah, it could be. We should tweet at Mojo. Tell him to come back and team with Riddy Mo. Call it Riddy Mojo. I made a shirt design for him, and he asked me how he can buy it, and I was like, dude, it's a bootleg. I can't sell this. Like, I have literally no rights to any of these things I just made for you as a joke.
Why don't they call it Riddy Joe? Riddy Mojo.
Riddy Joe? Yeah. Well, yeah, that might be good. Riddy Rawling?
But
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
that sounds like a couple. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's just a Bennifer name is what it is at that point.
Yeah.
Celebrity couple. Guys, we are going to have an intermission here as we wrap up. Have last call for our SummerSlam extravaganza, Summerslammed. And we're going to be back in probably about a half an hour or so we can have time to drain and eat and get pumped up for me and Miss Amanda Jane and anybody who wants a link. Justin, you'll get another one if you want to talk AEW and NXT. And we are going to we're going all night. Double header. I'm 2 sheets to the win now. How many sheets? We'll see how much I sheet myself on the next one.
I will sit here at this bar waiting.
What? What?
Marsh's juices.
My juices are titillated. I'm juiced up and ready to sheets myself. Let's get it. Guys,
I'm
we'll be
sitting
back
here
in a
at the
few.
bartenders to slide a drink to me.
Oh, yeah. Drinks on the house. Anything you guys wanted to put over? Justin, you want to tell people where they can find you and your brother as you guys keep the emphasis of the Terrible Wrestling Takes heart and soul alive?
I mean, Bishop did say he passed the torch to us, so yes.
Little
So
did you know it was to light a fart.
Randomly, speaking of the torch,
Yeah.
did you guys see Gerald Briscoe's tweet? Where he said, he's like, I'm 77, and just to let you know, this is my last match. And he's holding a match.
oh my god,
That's fucking fantastic. I did not see that. It's amazing. I will find it.
It was awesome.
So good. Justin, where can people find you?
yeah, you can find the show on almost every platform except for Apple. Like I said, one of these days we'll get this situation fixed. Follow me on Twitter at JustinTime211. Follow my brother at JeremyInTime721. Keep your eyes posted. New episodes are mostly coming out every Saturday. If there's pay-per-view on Saturday, it comes out Sunday. So keep your eyes peeled.
Sunday.
Very good. We will get through it. And you can find Kev at Kevlar on the Rocks with an X on Twitter. Outside of that, you can find him at his house. Address as follows. No kidding. Guys.
Address in the chat.
Yeah, address in chat. Guys, that's going to be last call here. We're going to be back in just a few more minutes as we reconvene to reopen the bar. We just got to mop the floors. It's been a mess. And then we'll be right back to it right here in the dive bar of the IWC for a brand new episode 1. Guys, that's the last call.
Cheers.
Hey, producer lady here. Thanks for tuning in. Continue to support us or buy us a drink by following and putting the I in subscribe on Twitch. Or subscribe and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. Cheers!
I would never have a drink with wrestling on the rocks.